You're a
See,
lot
I
like
am
Rahul Gandhi, yeah?
I am right even when I am wrong.
Yeah,
But you are a
exactly. That's
lady. You should accept fault even when you are right. यही
correct.
तुम्हारी
Correct.
को शोभा देती है.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. I agree with you. Can we start now? I just got off Republic, where I actually had to speak really loudly, which is not something I'm used to. So I'm going to let you
Stop,
like start
stop
this.
showing off, okay?
I'm not showing off. It's a fact. I just did finish there, and oh god, my throat. So you start for now.
And why? And why have you come on program in a nightie? Yeah.
I'm not in a nightie. This is a dupatta. I'm wearing a salwar kameez. Okay.
Oh, it looks like the Palestinian resistance cloth. You have joined Hamas or Hezbollah. Wow.
Is there? Anyway, moving on. AIM, Rahul Gandhi is at it again. I think after the Bharat Jodo Yatra, thinks he's a tapasvi. There's something going on there, and now he started competing with real time, real life tapasvis and yogis and all of that. He's gone on and offended the Sant community because he's gone and he's sort of called allegedly. Let's say that for now, because this was a very private, closed door meeting of civil society members. I don't know how civil they are if they're going to be referring to an elected leader who's doing a fine job as a common thug. I think it just reeks of that IIC Latian's elitism that we talk about so often, right?
Look, it's this adds to what Mahua Maitra said in Parliament today. She called somebody a harami. You know that,
What?
no?
No, no, no,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
missed
yeah.
this. Oh,
Yeah, she
God.
called somebody a harami. And when the minister stood up, he called her statement unfortunate. She was smiling and giggling,
My
thinking she had
God.
scored something major by saying harami in parliament. She should be
You're
kicked out
kidding
of
me.
parliament for that. It's a very
That's
serious
like
breach of
textbook.
protocol.
That's like
Anyway,
textbook unparliamentary, like for the annals.
yeah, exactly. बाहर कुछ बोलना है बोलो, बाहर कुछ भी बोलना है बोलो, अंदर जाके काय का ये कर रही हो. Anyway, अब इसमें देखो, there is several things out here. First, Rahul Gandhi really, boss, I'm telling you, I'm 100% convinced BJP has paid him to make this remark. Because all it required, you've literally, I know a certain, I'm not allowed to give out the name, a certain Nath, who is a die-hard Congress supporter, boss, to this day.
Hmm.
And he called me up absolutely furious using language I'm not going to mention out here about Rahul. I'm like, अच्छा कल तक तो आप बोल रहे थे ये बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत ये है. So he's turned a die-hard Congress supporter. Now he may not vote for the BJP. I think he still
Yeah.
hates the BJP. But you insulted his sampradaya. You
Hmm.
understand?
Yeah,
So he's
absolutely.
definitely not going to vote for Congress again. This much I can tell you. Okay. So you see, Rahul is working for the BJP this way. But let's leave that aside, jokes aside, because we know this is a man full of venom. And a man full of venom can never spread love.
Yeah.
Okay. Every time he opens his mouth, the only thing you get out of it is pure, pure, pure venom. Now, let's talk about Yogi a bit, shall we?
Yeah, please do. Go ahead. I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, okay.
here.
So so what happens is that when you go to uh, Varanasi and places like that, you will see that the Shaivites are very relaxed, right? They use all kinds of language. I think I told you this before. Now I've literally seen a lady go up in front of Kashi Vishwanath and
Hmm.
offer him things, abuse him left, right, and center, and walk off. Not She's not insulting him by abusing him. Remember that.
Hmm.
She
Hmm.
loves Kashi Vishwanath. But for Varanasi, for Kashi folks, Kashi Vishwanath is a member of the family. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
It is a mother who will say all kinds of things about you. Tu nalayak hai, tu kamina hai, pull your ears, box your tight se thapad maro, chappar nikal ke maro, maro, maro. Ay, mera beta, mera beta, and this and that. You know, it's. I think every Indian understands this kind of love. Okay. Now you generally go and touch a foot of a sadhu in Kashi. You'll be like, "Khusre bofdi ke." They don't
You
even say
said
S. They use F. Yeah, they do. Ask anybody. Anybody who's been to Kashi, it is a very relaxed, chilled out society. Okay. Now, Yogi specifically comes from the Naths, the Nath Sampradaya, which was a military sect. Never forget that. They arose to protect Hindus from the Muslims. There are so many hundreds of battles where they fought and died in their thousands and thousands to protect Hindus.
Yeah.
Rahul Gandhi can be a Hindu. His worthless family could buy property on the banks of Allahabad because the Naths were around to protect worthless asses like this.
Yeah, and I
We,
find this, they were political. They were equipped in military arts. They defended the Kashi Vishwanath Mandir from the Mughals. Anybody who does not know these kind of things about them and then comments on Yogi Adityanath, just shows their ignorance of Hindus and of our traditions and of
exactly. And mind you, unhone
understand, like, on what basis are you coming in and talking with such authority on this when your very first statement is just plain ignorance?
और तू कौन है बात करने के लिए? तू तो हिंदुस्तानी ही नहीं है. तू तो आधा हिंदुस्तानी है बॉस. तेरी औकात क्या है बात करने की इस पे? Second, understand, he is a Pidadipati. Yogi is a Pidadipati of the Gorakhnath Mutt. Who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Who the hell are you? तेरी औकात क्या है? हैं? Next, remember, they were a militarized sect that protected Hindus militarily, and they were completely gender equal. Women could take up arms. You still have women in the Nath Sampradaya who were given full military training and everything. They knew women's rights long before you ever did, boss. Okay, so we don't need these little pipsqueaks coming and questioning a 1,000-year-old institution that has been protecting what the RSS does today politically. The Naths have been doing for the last 1,000 years. We don't need some little pipsqueak from some 100-year-old upstart family coming and telling us what the Nath Sampradaya is and what they should do and what they should not do.
And they've died defending. They've actually died doing that. So it's not that
in the lakhs, they have died in the lakhs. The reason they became sannyasis is so that they would leave everything behind. जब हम मरेंगे हमारे खानदान को दुख नहीं होना चाहिए. They will never take in those days, if you participated in a rebellion or something against the Mughals or the Delhi Sultanate, your family would also be punished for it. And they would give up all family ties so that nobody would get punished for it. Okay, yeah. So what the hell have you? And they went willingly and gave up their lives. They were not assassinated. An accident is not a sacrifice. Cyrus Mistry did not sacrifice his life for Mercedes-Benz. Cyrus Mistry did not sacrifice his life for better roads in India. Okay, and assassination, you don't knowingly walk into an assassination. You were stupid enough to go get assassinated. You deliberately, you were told Sikh bodyguards are trying to kill you. You said, no. You know there is a threat against you. No, I don't want security. I want to go amongst the people. बहुत त्याग किया है. Thank you. तुम्हारा त्याग नहीं चाहिए. जाओ. The Naths knew they were going to die. They went into battle knowing they were going to die.
Hmm. No, and this is the really the vacuousness, or vacuity, so to speak, whatever the correct use of the word is between American and English. Uh, that this authoritative way of I am a true Hindu and I read the Upanishads and all. It's so fake. It's only recently that they've substituted the word Hindu with Hindutva for their criticisms. Only
Yeah,
recently. But before
yeah,
that, it
and
was Sovereign terror. It was does Ram doesn't exist. Putting a yachika in court, challenging the existence and the authenticity of Ram Setu. I mean, one can go on and on and on with them and their approach to Hindus. And then you go ahead and you use this disparaging comment. What exactly are you trying to do here? Do you think it's going to make you look better? No, it makes you look awful, terrible. And it's this feudal elitist mentality that he represents, and it exposes itself in words like common thug. Okay, I'm
yeah,
a writer, so I look at language very carefully. I look at words used very carefully. It just exposes that entire mindset. It's so much more. See, Yogi Adityanath will never respond to this kind of thing. It's too condescend. I mean, he won't condescend to that level. He's trying to bring in investments into his state. He's
अरे
looking at
अरे
his.
अरे यार वो देखो वो even let's take it even in on tapasvi terms and spiritual terms. वो लड़का योगी बाबा के पैर के धूल होने के लायक नहीं है. कोई धूल को रिस्पॉन्ड करता है? अगर पैर में कोई पत्थर आ जाता है, you say, oh, look at this is a conspiracy against me, this, that, no. It's irrelevant in the scheme of things.
And how is it
I
okay?
don't think Yogi should respond.
He's not going to. I'm sure he won't. And he doesn't have any reason to also, frankly, because who takes Rahul Gandhi seriously? Yeah. Honestly,
Nobody.
who takes Rahul Gandhi seriously? Today he was going on about something else in Parliament. I mean, there's always another. And speaking of Parliament, guess who's suddenly decided to pop by?
And
I mean, it's like
Rahul ka
Pallavi!
Pallavi, what timing?
Oh
We
my
mentioned
God.
Parliament.
You matched with me, Pallavi. You're looking so cute.
We are looking like a brother and a sister now.
Yeah. I should also have glasses. Okay, no. ठीक है. चलो. No
Okay,
glasses. फिर भी चलता है.
Static Ghosh is here. That's right, Abhishek. Static Ghosh. But she's still swaying back and forth. So not quite static.
Abhijit, someone actually commented on Twitter yesterday that Abhijit and Suhail make fun of you. As a woman, you should be outraged.
I agree.
Yes. Please outrage. You can outrage. I'm giving you 2 minutes of range. Are you both feeling outraged?
Very.
So what were
I
you
think
guys discussing about Rahul
I
Gandhi? I
think
want to know.
I've run out of outrage on Republic, now. I mean, God.
Oh, you outraged on
anyway.
Republic?
I mean, I was actually angry, because I hate this elitist
I got
crap.
really, yeah.
I hate this elitist crap. I mean, the Hindu thing that you expect from the Congress, right? They have very little respect for Hindu traditions or
So what was the
sensitivities.
latest crap?
This common thug, Yogi's a common thug kind of
Yeah,
man.
that was I don't know why he said that. I mean, kya
It's just
pagal hai?
horrible.
But
It really gets my
so
goat.
I know this because I was inside Parliament today. So I'll just tell you 2-3 things. So when this thug wala thing was done and I was doing a live on it. So there was these Congress leaders from UP. 2 of them, they were roaming around piche, and then they stopped and they heard me out. And they said, madam, hum kya bole? This makes it very difficult for us to go back because wahan pe you cannot do this. I mean, Yogi in a saffron robe is such a strong, powerful image. We have to fight. He said, इधर आप मंदिर जाते हो, फिर जो ये वेशभूषा पहनते हैं उसको आप ठग बुलाते हो. I don't know if any of you have been to the Gorakhpur Mutt. Have you been there?
I have. Yeah,
I've seen it. I've not been inside when I was a kid.
So I went there I remember I went there for the first time when I remember Rahul Gandhi had started that Khat Sabha. Remember when UP ke ladke type stuff? No, not UP ke ladke nahi tha. No. So when that Khat Sabha he had started, where basically you distribute khat from area to area, and it was like a Padyatra sorts, which began from Gorakhpur. So that's when I went to the Gorakhpur Mutt because I had time. I mean, I don't know all those criticism and whatever people may say, but there's a hell of a lot of social medical work which is being done there. Free
Yes.
medicines, doctors, and वहाँ के जो local
Yes.
लोग हैं ना, they say कि हम hospital नहीं जाते, and they're educated people. They say that इनके
Hmm.
doctors अच्छे होते हैं, दवाई सस्ती है, दवाई एकदम free है. So, over there you can't say these things to people and people are not going to be affronted.
And the best thing, Pallavi, is if you go there, even the Muslims there will say Jai Bole Baba ki.
Yeah.
They
Because that
also
has nothing
they
to do
also
with religion. It's a feeling. It's an
it's got
emotion.
exactly it's an emotion. It's an emotion, right? And I don't get angry about these things, but when I heard it, I was just so furious. You just can't say these things about people that you don't know diddly squat about. Have you actually met the man? Have you spoken to the man?
Have you even been to the mutt? Because
He never
Rahul
has.
Gandhi का जो rally
No,
शुरू
I
हुआ
mean,
था, which is like
how
a kilometer
privileged
away from the mutt. And
he's.
वहाँ के जो Congress netas है ना, Advait, I'm sorry to bother you, but interrupt you, but even the Congress netas who were there from Kushinagar and all these people, they sound like RPN Singh, yeah, who falls also in that area. ये लोग भी नहीं बोलते हैं because they know what it means there. अरे politically you compete with someone, that's okay. You don't have to like him. But there's some things you don't say.
It's not even like, a question of don't say, it's like they've not learned anything. This elitist crap, this condescending attitude towards people is something that they've just not figured out. I mean, you're doing snowball fights in Kashmir with your sister. The man is working 24/7. You've done one padyatra and you think you've become a tapasvi, and you're talking to somebody who left everything at the age of 18 and 19, yeah, everything, including his parents, everything, and dedicated himself to a certain tradition and lives the
Yeah, I mean,
life of.
you
I mean,
criticize him on policies if you want to, but not on these things.
with your container vans and your walking and 24/7 drone camera footage, you're suddenly the tapasvi, and this guy is a con man. I mean, doesn't think people are stupid? Is that all it takes? Then tomorrow all of us can become elevated souls. Yeah. I mean, have some respect. Have some basic
Kuch
respect.
nahi. See,
Comment on
how
it.
do you
No
expect
problem.
how do you expect to get respect if you don't show respect to anyone? ये है प्यार फैलाना.
Correct.
See, if you follow in Gandhi's footsteps, what did Gandhi say? He said you should respond. He literally said what Christ said. No, turn the other cheek. You respond to hate with love. Do you see this boy doing any of that? I can't call him boy. He's older to me, considerably older to me. Like he's
Older
like
to
my
Yogi
dadaji
Adityanath
almost.
also. He's older to Yogi Adityanath as well. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like they go through this whole exercise of some big, huge image change and how he's really in touch with being a Hindu and all of that. And then he gets it so wrong. He doesn't even know how to address somebody, who's an elected person, a chief minister of a state who comes from a religious monastic order, which is deeply revered. And not just in India, even in Nepal, yeah, all over the country. So and one that is it's centuries old.
So some of the best Japanese restaurants and hotels also, one or two, is actually there in Gorakhpur and that Kushinagar area. Because I remember when we went to stay there in that circuit house because Congress had arranged for it, we were surprised when I was walking down towards the mutt and all that. So so it's a spot where all the Buddhists come. They go to Gaya and all that, and then they go to a mutt. You can be cynical about mutts if you really want to be, but you don't make personal attacks because you say you've been subjected to it yourself. तो ये नहीं हो सकता ना selective outrage कि मेरे बारे में ये लोग negative बोलते रहते हैं तो मैं आपके बारे में भी बोलूंगा. Then how are you different? This whataboutery is so irritating now. Anything you tell anything to Congress party कि आपने ऐसा क्यों बीजेपी करती है तब तो आपका problem नहीं आया. But then sir, if you want to be like the BJP, then why are you criticizing them?
Well, so many of them have joined the BJP, so much for their ideological differences. But and it just goes to show like exactly where they stand. But Pallavi, AIM are talking about this earlier. I find, looking at this from a more like cynical viewpoint, I guess, from a more political viewpoint, there are a couple of things. One is the fact that Mr. Gandhi has been literally shunted out of his family bastion, Amethi, which happens to be in Uttar Pradesh. Today, he's in a
Hmm.
position where I mean, there's only that one seat that his mother has there, and UP was all theirs, huh? By the way, where if he
Yeah.
fights next year from Amethi, there's a slim chance of him returning to power there. In fact, he had to go back.
0-0 नहीं
Zero
जीतेगा,
power.
उसको पता है.
Okay, I don't know.
कुछ
I mean, you're never in politics, but see, that's one aspect. In fact,
मुश्किल है.
he's not been back to Amethi since he lost. Maybe once he's gone back.
दो
But
बार,
no, but
one and a
right?
half.
Imagine this is this is a seat that has been in your family for decades. So it's a really personal, like ego kick that he got kicked out of Amethi and he had to go all the way down south. So that's one aspect. The second aspect is, of course, this GIS summit also, which is getting a lot of buzz. And as you all know, I do work on those things, so I know what's happening and that the kind of attendance that's going on. And there is a lot, and it's another aspect of Yogi that's coming to the fore, the administrative, the fact that capital infrastructure expenditure is very high in the state, and all of those things. So do you think it's sort of a political statement that he's made because he is perceiving a rival, because this man is younger than he is? He's had more parliamentary experience. He's now a two-term chief minister.
I think Rahul Gandhi is wanting to project himself as a real Indian, the real Hindu, and बाकी सब लोग ढोंगी हैं and they don't know what dharma is all about. And my great moment of जो I think he meant to mention also that जैसे गौतम बुद्ध को निर्वाण प्राप्ति हुई थी, मुझे उसी तरह हुआ है after the यात्रा ने बोलना शुरू किया है, यात्रा आज खूब बोल रहा है. That's how he began his speech with. I think he's now trying to project himself as a person who's changed, who is the real one, who is genuine. But the irony is that the same person talks about pyar ki dukan, and look at the kind of personal comments. You don't use a word like thug for anyone. Forget if it's whether elected person, non-elected person. बात ये नहीं, हम ऐसे किसी को नहीं बोल सकते ना thug. I'll not
And
call
someone who's
AIM
born
a thug
honest.
or something like that.
Someone who's born honest, that's what I find so funny, is that look at the adjective he's using for a guy who's born honest, and you're yourself out on bail and accused of all kinds of impropriety.
Yeah, exactly. And you go to temples now. I mean, you have a right to do it, but we also know why you're doing that, no? We also know how you're trying to be politically and in terms of religious also very correct. So, I mean, you don't have a problem in wearing a saffron robe yourself when elections are around the corner or when you're hobnobbing, with politicians. And here you are laughing at someone who's wearing a saffron robe and says, dhongi hai, ye adharm hai, and thagan and all that kind of stuff. You may criticize. See, I think this is going to be a Chaukidar Chor Hai moment, part 2 for him again, which is simply because whenever you make those personal attacks and call them corrupt, and here I include the Prime Minister and in fact the UPCM. I mean, I'm not saying UP mein sab kuch hunky dory hai, and it is. I mean, I'm living in Noida, right? And there are problems over here. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I will not for a moment believe that the CM is corrupt or even the PM is corrupt. And this image is there with the people. So आज I was really randomly talking to people and they were saying कि देखो बाकी सब तो ठीक है, अदानी इशू रेस किया, कोई बुरी बात नहीं, हमारे दिमाग में भी बहुत सारी बातें हैं, सवाल है and all that, but प्रधानमंत्री तो भ्रष्ट नहीं होंगे ना मैम. So I said, well, I mean, so I think it's a Chaukidar. I mean, his comments today on the flight and all of that. No, yeah, it somehow it was not very nice.
Also, I believe Mahua Moitra used a bad word in Parliament today, since you were there today.
What did she say?
Harami.
I'm forgetting. Something like that. Must have been expunged by now.
Expunged, but how do you use this word in the first place?
These people are in the flow. And in the flow, they just go out of control.
But it's
and
part
they
of
think
your...
they're being cool. They think they're being cool. You have to be... It's like, okay, I'm a reporter, right? what I see, because I travel all the time and I'm a field person, will always be very different from the way the same editor, so to say, is going to watch the situation and read the situation. Because वो तो दूर से देख रहा है ना, वो ऊपर बैठ के देख रहा है. मैं तो डस्ट में, स्नो में, बकवास भींगते हुए लाइव किया and all that. And that for me is a learning and enriching moment. So I will not run down another person who's doing the same. I will not be condescending. But that's the same thing with a politician who is a very convenient politician who has worked hard. I know Bharat Jodo Yatra was not an easy one. To be very fair, it was not an easy one. But that should have changed him in this way. ये ठग word used करना on a day when he just come back from the yatra, I'm sorry, it just washes away whatever the yatra was all about love, about becoming, humble, and not calling people names. And that's exactly what Moha Moitra also does. See, mind you, TMC, mein, there's a sense of discomfort every time. In sense that she's so firebrand and she's a woman, it suits Mamata Banerjee's image. So, and the Adani issue has been very, very close to her. She's been talking about this, which is why I think she was chosen to speak. But they're very wary, huh? Kya bol degi, out of control ho jayegi, fir hame sambhalna padega. That kind of stuff. You should have heard Derek's speech. I really like Derek's speech. He did the same thing.
Derek speaks well.
He is controlled. वो ना personal ये सब नहीं कर, because he knows the pitfall of it. Surprisingly, because he's not exactly a grassroots leader, but still he understands the nuances.
Yeah, it's sort of the least you can expect,
I'm looking forward to the PM's response tomorrow. I mean, his response to the motion of thanks. 4 o'clock, around 4. As of now, 4, but
who else? I mean, and this whole thing, I feel coming back to this comment that RG made. AIM now, there's, I think, like Pallavi said, this could be the Chaukidar hai Chaukidar chor hai moment yet again for him. They're now doing this thing that it never happened. Right?
What never happened?
Like on the Republic debate right now, like a like Rahul Gandhi person was saying, it didn't happen. Like there was nothing. This is all allegations. It was a closed door meeting. So now they've got into that because they've realized that this is kind of exploded in a way.
But no one has issued a denial. Ab tak nahi. 24 घंटे से ज़्यादा हो गया.
But nobody, Congress se kisi ne denial nahi kiya, but she was saying that this was never said. It was a closed door meeting, and this.
Who's this person?
How does she know? Who is this person?
Lady on the Republic panel. I can't quite recall her name. I think she's a senior journalist only, if I'm not mistaken.
Congress wale to jaate bhi nahi hai Republic mein. Must be. And who's this journalist who was not most probably inside also?
Patani, she was saying this is like this was like closed door, and this is like some media reports have carried this and this, that, and the other. But yeah, but I mean, talk about like offending, like, I mean, he doesn't just offend one person or two people, he offends like an entire sampradaya, and then of course plus the political supporters.
But the damage has been done, na? Abhi denial bhi issue karenge, the damage has been done.
The damage is done. See, the problem is, what worries me in all of this is he never seems to learn. He makes the same mistake over and over and over and over again, and he just doesn't get it. This is like this is worse than Chauki. See, Chaukidar Chor Hai was something that never resonated with people. Okay, so it was a deadbeat. It only when he said Supreme Court ne bhi bola ki Chaukidar chor hai, then he had to go apologize to Supreme Court. But it never really made a difference because you remember when they lost the election in 2019, his criticism in the CWC was, we lost the election because you did not go around saying, use the slogan that I coined,
you did not support me.
You did not support me. This is like Mani Shankar Iyer calling Modi chai wala.
Yeah. Oh yes, that's it. That's the equivalent.
That added, at least I suspect, without that particular chai wala thing, Modi might have got about 250. But the remaining 22 seats that they got, I credit to Mani Shankar Iyer. Mani Shankar Iyer can't win his own seat, but he definitely got BJP 22 seats by using chai wala.
Because when Mani Shankar Iyer said chai wala, I had the same sort of angry response, and I felt the same angry response with this comment hug, kind of, and it has the same layers,
See,
the same elitism, the same dismissiveness, the same condescension.
no, see, it's different. It's different. I'll tell you why. Mani Shankar Iyer is actually quite droll. He's
Hmm.
actually really hilarious, and sometimes, really mean humor can be funny. Mani Shankar has a certain drollness about he's always prone to smart aleck comments. Okay. Rahul is not droll,
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, that's true. It's a
right?
personality
Uh,
difference also.
it's a personality thing. It actually suits. Uh, I don't know what it was. Was it Mani Shankar Iyer saying it, or Modi turning it around on him that was useful? Here, there
Hmm.
was a certain. Sure, there was nastiness there as well. I mean, humor is nasty sometimes, like what is a roast if not being nasty to somebody?
Hmm.
But here, do you remember Mani Shankar Iyer? He was investigated when he was at college for being a Marxist, and apparently the local Raw chief in Washington wrote back saying the only Marx he's related to is Groucho Marx. So he's that kind of guy. Uh, Rahul is not like that. When it comes
Yeah.
out of Rahul's mouth, the damage is significantly greater.
Hmm. Hmm. And this bitterness, Pallavi, I mean, it's like it's just oozing now, it's really oozing out of him. One doesn't understand the
So,
level. I mean,
so
I
my
do.
thing is, I was there in
I
Parliament.
mean, to be fair, when he talks about his family that's been assassinated, and he did in one of those clips, it is sad. But so I do believe that there's some PTSD there going on. He remembers like how he was informed, and it is sad, no doubt. It's a very tragic story. It's a tragic life or of a young person who lost so many people dear to him. But that, I don't know, but the present, that the man he's become, I guess the now 50 plus man that he's become, is increasingly bitter, negative, seems to be just going spiraling kind of in a downward way when it comes to his persona.
Yeah. So I've followed him from 2004. It's very interesting that I was given the Congress beat the same year Rahul Gandhi actually contested elections for the first time round, and that was in 2004. So I've been going to Amethi with him. I've been following him consistently, and I've seen him change from someone who was very gawky and someone who was very not very confident, couldn't speak to the media, to someone now who's become very, very confident. He speaks to the media a lot. But I still think he was a nicer person then to relate to. He's still a nice guy. It's not there that he's not a nice person. He's still a very, very nice person. But there's something which is going wrong. He's angry. He's angry with the world. He's angry with what he calls the unfairness of it all. To a very great extent, I understand that, because I don't think it's nice to be called Pappu all the time, even though sometimes he does things which he deserves to be called. But bura lagta hai, because we are all human beings, bura lagta hai, and sometimes media is not very nice to him. And I hear those personal snidey comments about him and all. But you're a politician, right? And when you are a like I'm a journalist, okay, and there are times when people just hate my stories, they don't agree with my point of view, and I have to be thick-skinned. There are times when I've done a story and someone else takes credit, and I have to be thick-skinned. I can't be moaning and grumpy and hate the world. I don't like this, I don't like that. That's what he becomes. There are some very nice sides of him which comes across. Like today, I'll tell you, like today he was supposed to be the second or the third speaker, and he comes to Parliament around 12:30, 12:40, and then suddenly within 5 minutes he rushes out with his mother. So what had happened is that apparently when he entered Parliament, he was told that she had kind of very uneasy and her head was spinning, and she had just gone to a restroom, or like she was resting in a room. So he said, where is she, where is she? He went in, he picked up his mother and forced her to go back home, and he told her that you're going back home, you're not going to watch me, you're going to watch it from home. So there's this nice son mother moments. They're very nice, but you cannot be angry all the time. And because he's angry, it comes across in many wrong ways. Like today, he goes on and on about the fact that the prime minister is traveling abroad and kitne baar
Tell me
Adani
something,
aapke saath gaye.
Pallavi, frankly, being nice to your mother, can it really be a virtue, counted as a virtue, or is
No, no,
that
no, no.
just
I'm just saying those are those nice little moments we get to see, which you
you?
feel
Oh, yeah,
good
yeah,
about.
as an observation,
Yeah,
but
as an observation.
you're attacking someone who didn't even go to his own father's last rites. You know,
Yeah.
that's the level of detachment that the Yogi Adityanath has because of his chosen path in this life. And you're attacking that very thing, and you're trying to be disrespectful of that. So, people today are very aware. They know what's going on. They know
Yeah.
exactly the sacrifices people have made. And Yogi Adityanath, for example, has never talked about the fact that he didn't go to his father's last rites. We know because the press has done it. They've
Yeah.
spoken about it. That's the only reason we know.
But see, look, there is a thing for this. The Pidatipatis in the south, be it Shringeri or Kanchi or whatever, when the father comes in front of the Shankaracharya, the father has to kneel in front of the son. The father has to do a Shashtang Pranam to the Shankaracharya. But when the mother comes, it is the Shankaracharya that has to do the Shashtang Pranam to his mother.
Correct.
Right? It was the same with Adi Shankaracharya, remember? Because the link with the mother transcends. A sannyasi cannot break the link with what gave birth to. Right? So even he had to come back and do the last rites of the mother. That is the mother-son link cannot be broken even by a sannyasi. Okay. The father, on the other hand, you are meant to be above it. That is a link that can be broken. Remember, Krishna's father couldn't talk to him any way he wanted. Krishna, unlike Rama didn't know he was divine. Krishna knew he was divine. So, that very famous song in Carnatic music that everybody likes, Krishna ni begane baro. It is followed by Jagadodharana, where, Janaki opens the mouth and she sees the whole universe is there inside his mouth. What you aren't told is what happens after that. Do you know what happens after Jagatodharana? She spanks Krishna. तू भगवान है पर मैं तेरी मां हूं, मेरा हक बनता है. Okay, so the father link, you can't criticize it. He cannot go for his father's funeral. He has taken sannyas. He has to go for his mother's funeral because the mother link is greater than any. That is why it is Janani Janma Bhumishcha Swargadapi Garyasi. It is not Pitru Janma Bhumi, it is Janani Janma Bhumi. It is not Janaka Janma Bhumi, it's Janani Janma Bhumi.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow, AIM sometimes surprised me, astound me.
But
I would say.
AIM is sleepy, I think.
AIM is
Yashoda,
sleepy.
not Janaki. Sorry, Yashoda Maiya, not Janaki Maiya.
It's fine. We get it. AIM is very tired today. He's been very emotionally whirled up about this, and then subsequently he's done TV, and then he agreed to do this. But yeah, so that's that. And of course, how did Adani play out? Moving on from this topic, Pallavi, how did Adani play out in Parliament? You were there live watching the action.
So the only one who mentioned it first, of course, was Rahul Gandhi. His speech was entirely about Adani. He had obviously come very well prepared. There were some of those nice witty movements and all of that. But what I found very interesting is that when he was speaking, no top ministers, barring one or two, were there. So the only ones, and I think that was a very well thought out strategy. So there was only Ravi Shankar Prasad, former law minister, Kiran Rijiju, the present law minister. So both of them were actually citing rule books on why he cannot make allegations on the prime minister without prior notice, and how there has to be documentary evidence for this, and of course a parliamentary affairs minister. बस ये तीन थे, बाकी सब कुछ MPs थे. Very clear attempt by the BJP to downplay and send out this message: we don't care about you. And after all this was over, Smriti Irani comes, where she spoke on the president's speech. और उसे कपड़े फाड़ दिए because she went on and on about how I've done this work in Amethi and इसके पहले सिर्फ guest house था, मैंने hospital बनाया and all of that. So I think it was a very well thought out strategy on the part of the BJP. Apart from Rahul Gandhi, the ones who mentioned about Adani, of course, was Mahua Moitra. So these two are the main ones. But funny, interesting part was that when Rahul Gandhi was speaking, for a change, the opposition was clapping for him. And
unusual.
Unusual.
And just to add one thing,
but on TV,
the best counter to Rahul Gandhi with not citing rules but point by point rebuttal was actually by Dr. Nishkant Dubey.
Yeah,
Hmm,
Nishikant.
hmm, hmm.
Because
I
you know
thought he
he
was
showed
impressive.
that
Yeah,
the allegation made against Adani is, how can a first time person be given an airport? It was the
Airport.
Congress which in 2005 changed the rule to allow GMR to build Delhi airport. GMR
hmm.
got into Delhi airport only in 2003, and they were given the contract to build it for in preparation for the kya games tha? Commonwealth Games.
Commonwealth. Huh?
Okay, all of Adani's net worth increases happened under the Congress, right?
I have
So
a
Nishkant
feeling
Dubey actually gave a
that
very good rebuttal.
I have a feeling BJP has got something up its sleeves. They are not going to take it lying down. Obviously, the PM is not going to engage himself. After all, he's the prime minister of the country and he's responding to motion time. मुझे लगता है ये लोग कुछ documentary evidence लेके आएंगे to show how Congress ruled states have actually benefited from the Adani enterprises and how maximum amount of funding also has taken place there. ये वो करेंगे. And frankly speaking, मुझे तो कोई बुराई भी नहीं लगती है. There's nothing wrong if a BJP ruled state or a Congress ruled state has an association with Adani's or they set up these industries there. But you know, it's just about you are making a virtue out of कि हम तो साफ सुथरे हैं, आपने अदानी के साथ दोस्ती की तो आप गलत है. I mean, you know, we also know of the UPA regime, ना? People also talk about them. Crony
Yeah.
capitalism तो तब भी था.
Hmm,
Hmm.
hmm, hmm.
I'm really looking forward to the PM speech because I want to see what fireworks होता है.
But, I mean, PM's a great orator, right? So you know that it's going to like, you know,
No,
it's going to
he
be.
must be knowing, yeah. Everyone is going to expect. His
It's going
party
to,
is expecting. Everyone is going to be expecting him to like, give it back.
yeah, yeah, and he's going to have a sense of humor also about it because you can't
Hmm.
not when it comes to this guy. Really, you can't not because
So
otherwise,
let's think. I think he may take a pot shot at his beard. He may take a pot shot at his yatra. Let's see if I'm correct or not.
But I don't. Okay, that's your estimation. What do you think he's
As
going
a
to take?
sense of humor. As a sense of humor.
I just hope Rahul Gandhi doesn't go across and hug him again. Yeah, that's going to
Oh
be
no, bhai,
awkward.
हो गया. No, I don't think so.
It's so cringe. It's so cringe. It's like more cringe than it's more
So
cringe than
if he hugs the PM,
Janakpuri
then
Punjabi auntie like Advaita Kala.
no. So if he hugs
Thank you
the
for making
PM,
me
na,
laugh.
then
Yeah.
Advaita, me, Sandeep, we three will come and hug you. Yeah.
No, I
Okay.
really think we should actually talk about like tomorrow the PM speech. Let's see what
Why
he
are you
says.
called early Rani, by the way?
Because I'm always early and everyone else is always late. So that's my
I
new.
coined that term for her.
He was
I
actually
coined
nice.
it.
Maybe he knew I was needed a good lift me up. So that was very sweet.
Yeah.
Very, very sweet. AIM, you did a good job.
So cute.
No, that's not me. I'll pull your ears like the Prime Minister does. Both sides.
अच्छा मेरे को भागनी है मेरे को नींद आ रही है
Maybe both.
Okay, by all of us should go now.
Thank you everybody for watching. Listen, do like this video if you want more people to see it. Do subscribe the channel. Very important to like the videos because then that gets us more of a viewership and that keeps us entertained.
Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Even if you want to abuse me, don't abuse the other two, abuse me, but just comment because it helps the algorithm.
And Yash has put this in here about 17 times. So no, I'm not going to wear cat eye frames. And secondly, I'm thinking of a new business proposal because last Sunday Club, Suhail roasted our last commentator. And then later on in the comments section, he wrote to me and he says, thank you so much for putting my comment up there. I really enjoyed the roast by Suhail. So I feel there's a business opportunity here. So I think, yes, you put up like comments and pay us and we'll make sure Suhail roasts you. Don't tell him though that we're using him like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Suhail is
don't
in
tell him.
Jaisalmer. He doesn't have time to listen to us now.
No, so anyway, so we can share
Pallavi,
the
Pallavi, how's your microwave samosa business coming along in Kolkata, yeah?
What bullshit, yeah. I went to Kolkata for a day. Nonsense. And I went there.
You told me. To the microwave samosa joint that you opened.
By the way, another lady who's doing an impressive yatra and she's not getting enough buzz about it is Jagan's sister.
Yeah.
He's like She's tough, yeah. She's tough.
She's
And I'm
tough.
like,
What is she doing? What is she doing the yatra
But
for?
remember, Jagan also came where he came because of
Correct.
the huge yatra he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it because she's a woman? I mean, why are they not paying more attention? And she's really facing like a lot of issues.
Acha,
She's
suno,
stopped,
I have to go.
arrested, all of that stuff is happening. Anyway, we'll talk more
Okay,
about
we'll
that
talk
later.
about this yatra tomorrow.
Okay,
Bye, bye,
bye.
bye, bye.
Wait,